回来再来看其他方面的消息。最近，在美国华盛顿州、弗吉尼亚州等地都发生了家用监控安全系统遭到黑客入侵的情况，引发了民众的广泛恐慌。由于这一系统被运用得非常广泛，许多民众对于自己的隐私泄露和人身安全感到了极度的担忧。现在，监控系统的公司已经公开表示态度，关于这一系列案件的细节，警方还在调查之中。
Hackers strike once again.
Hello, is someone here? Can you hear me?
A stranger accesses a Virginia family's Ring home security system. The man then speaks to the family's nanny, who came downstairs after hearing his voice.
Why is the door open? I'm in your house now.
I opened it.
Look behind you.
The hacker's voice came from one of the Ring cameras inside the house.
If they are actually hacking our system, the system is registered to our address, so they would have our home address.
And this isn't an isolated incident.
Get up. I got treats. Get up.
Other households had their Ring systems hacked, including this one in Washington state.
I'm your best friend. I'm Santa Claus.
The family, who wanted to remain anonymous, contacted Ring for an explanation.
It was accessed by a third party. They used a mobile device. They just told me that I could have had a lax password and that they could have guessed my password.
The company recently issued a statement saying that they've investigated the issue and have no evidence of an unauthorized intrusion or compromise of Ring's systems or network. Ring also advises its users to enable two-factor authentication, add shared users, and use different and strong passwords. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
日前，世界上最著名的橄榄球运动员之一索尼·威廉姆斯接受了 CNN 的采访。处于巅峰位置，他却坦言，运动员事实上是一个非常脆弱而危险的职业。在采访中，他重点讲述了自己选择宗教信仰的心路历程。在10年前，他选择皈依伊斯兰教，成为一名穆斯林。他认为宗教信仰帮助了他事业上的成功，包括赢得2011年和2015年的世界杯冠军。
When it comes to players or athletes performing in their 30s, they're doing it all over the world these days. You know, the advancement of sports science and whatnot, and how you eat. And you know, for myself, I've been a Muslim for 10 years, over 10 years, and it's just clean, living clean. You know, is really helped me still be, I guess, at the top of my game.
Did you make the choice to convert to become a better man or to become a better athlete?
My soul was yearning for something, and I didn't know what that was. I was young. I was, I guess, insecure. All I knew was footy, and all I knew was rugby and rugby league. And that game actually defined who I was. If I had a good game, then I felt like I was a good person. If I had a bad game, I wouldn't want to leave the house. And I think that's what Islam has given me. It's allowed me to be vulnerable enough to step into certain situations, environments, and lead and thrive and put myself out there. And all of those added up, you know, along the journey of which is sport. It's a roller coaster, up and down. All of those lessons have definitely made me the man I am today.
If you hadn't become a Muslim, do you think you would still have achieved as much as you have done on the sports field?
No.
You've also become a bit of a Muslim figurehead, really, as well. Do you mind that? Do you embrace that?
Yeah, definitely. I think over time, as I've become more confident in the person, the man that I am, I think in today's society, we've been taught to almost be embarrassed of Islam, to be embarrassed because of the few bad apples that are out there.
Do you think too many Western countries have the wrong idea about Islam?
You know, I'm not a politician, brother. I just do me. I try not to delve into things that I don't really know too much about.
But it came very close to home, didn't it, with the Christchurch shootings?
100%. And like I said, I don't like to delve into areas that I don't know too much about. But at that time, being a New Zealander, being a New Zealander, probably being one of the most recognised Muslims in the country, being an All Black, I knew I represented both sides of the coin, and I was hurting. You know, I know New Zealanders were hurting, Muslims were hurting, so I had to step up. I had to, you know, get into that space and be vulnerable. And, you know, and sometimes I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that I was trying to be positive. And I think as New Zealanders, we've really led the way in that space, and in talking about the elephant in the room.
What did you make of the way your country's Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, handled it at that time?
Yeah, it was special. I take my hat off to her. And I think, I'm just hoping that those conversations continue to happen, changes continue to happen. And not just for the Muslim community, for all, minorities that are struggling and that are facing racism, because, it's a big issue in the world today. And like I said, I'm not a politician, but I just try and do what I feel is right. And I guess I'm grateful and blessed that sport has allowed me to use that vehicle to push, I guess, a bit more positivity out there into the world.
再来看娱乐方面的消息。美国洛杉矶的一些小朋友们日前收到了来自女歌手 Katy Perry 的珍贵圣诞礼物。她与亚马逊公司联手，为洛杉矶儿童俱乐部慈善机构捐献了大量圣诞礼品、零食和生活用品，希望以这种方式为帮助需要的孩子们送去温暖。
1, 2, 3.
Kids at a Los Angeles Boys and Girls Club got a holiday surprise from Katy Perry and Amazon, who turned their clubhouse into a winter wonderland, complete with snow. The club received essential items from its Amazon Smile charity list, and the kids got holiday gifts, plus photos with Santa, cookie decorating, and, of course, sledding. Kristen Bell is guaranteed a prize at this year's Critics' Choice Awards. She'll be the 4th recipient of the See Her Award for her work towards more authentic portrayals of women in entertainment media. Bell will be honored at the 25th Critics' Choice Awards, January 12th in Santa Monica, California.
All I have for you is a word. Tenet. It'll open the right doors, some of the wrong ones too.
Here's your first look at John David Washington in Tenet, the next mind-bending adventure from Inception filmmaker Christopher Nolan, in which time moves in more than one direction. Tenet hits theaters July 17th, at least in our time. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
本周电影院线迎来了一年中最重要的一个周末，其中最关注的是《星球大战》最新电影《天行者崛起》。它同样也是票房上最被看好的一部影片，开画成绩达到可能2亿美元的好成绩。但同时上映的另外2部影片同样热度很高，分别是音乐剧《猫》的电影版和取材于美国政坛最受关注的总统川普丑闻的爆炸新闻。相信本周末电影院线将会有一番精彩而激烈的竞争。
We're not alone. Good people will fight if we lead them.
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker caps off the trio of trilogies set in a galaxy far, far away. Industry analysts predict an opening weekend of $175 to $200 million, well below either of the first 2 films in the current trilogy. Disney's being even more conservative, forecasting a debut of $160 million.
Feeling. The Force brought us together.
The Force Awakens writer-director J.J. Abrams returns to wrap things up with Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Good people will fight if we lead them.
When he kicked off the current trilogy, Abrams had questions.
Will any of this remotely work? Will it float? Will these actors be able to carry the movie? Will these characters work together on screen? Will. A million questions.
When it came to concluding the Skywalker saga, he had different questions.
What do you want to see? What must you see? What is demanding being seen? Which characters need to be there? How do you balance the scope and spectacle of these things that you realize you want to do with the intimacy and emotion?
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir, at my friends.
Meanwhile, Daisy Ridley's Rey still has questions of her own.
She feels like she needs to find where she came from in order to move forward.
But John Boyega's Finn has finally overcome his doubts about who he is.
It's honest stuff. He wants to get stuff done. He's heroic. He fights for the resistance. No doubt about it. He would die for it. And it's just fun because I just actually get to just play a badass in this one. That's it.
Force will be with you.
Always.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Now it is time to make the choice.
Cats claws its way from Broadway to the big screen with an all-star cast singing and dancing while bedecked in digital fur. Box office watchers say the adaptation of the long-running stage musical should open with up to $17 million.
Tonight is a magical night where I choose the cat that deserves a new life.
Andrew Lloyd Webber's award-winning musical lives a new life in the film version of Cats.
Here we go!
The Cats cast includes Judi Dench, Jason Derulo, Idris Elba, Ian McKellen, and Jennifer Hudson, who performs the signature song, Memory.
Each cat has their own song which tells their story. And Memory is Grisabella's story. You know, she's the dejected cat. She's obviously heartbroken and just torn. And so this is her chance to speak from her heart and just show her heart.
Follow me home if you dare to.
Ballerina Francesca Hayward makes her film debut as the kitten Victoria.
Yeah, it was very different for me as a dancer. I'm used to doing a show and telling stories from start to finish, and so to have to break stories up like that, I had to really know my character very well.
It's one of the nicest things about being an actor is that you work with people of different generations, and when you come to the point of acting, you're all equal, regardless of experience and sometimes of talent.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
HR's on the phone because you called me a skirt.
Yeah, I gotta read that manual again.
The attitude off camera was even worse.
Bombshell, the drama about the sexual harassment scandal at Fox News Channel, expands after a strong opening in limited release last weekend. Estimates for this weekend range from $7 to $14 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
A TV outfit needs tough, confident women. Do I push them? You bet your ass I do. But have I ever demanded sex during a casting session?
I can avoid arbitration by suing Roger personally. We could call other women and show a pattern.
Will other women come forward?
3 women at Fox News face hostility as they set out to expose CEO Roger Ailes for sexual harassment in Bombshell.
If Roger finds out you came to us, he won't just fire you. He will attack you personally.
Director Jay Roach and star Charlize Theron say the women who came forward were courageous.
We talked to a lot of women, as many as we could, to feel to somehow empathize and share the feeling with them of what it was like to be in this sort of toxic environment.
It's like we're telling women, go on, speak up for yourself, just know the entire network is with Roger.
Those are all things that I think any woman who's successful, who wants to be successful, has drive and ambition, can relate to.
Margot Robbie says her character, Kayla, allows viewers to relate to the women's dilemma.
I'm really grateful that I got to get to know Kayla and that I got to let audiences experience what so many other women have experienced.
This is a fight for your jobs. If I go, you go.
Ready to go to war?
Oh, yeah.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
休息一下，马上回来。